In this episode, I'll return to France where my boat has wintered on its own. I'll spend a few weeks doing various upgrades and repairs before finally heading back out on the Saône and making my way down to the city of Lyon. So it's finally time to get a move on again, head back south. Got my plane ticket booked here. Just creating some backups for my footage from France. And now it's time to pack my bags. So what I'm bringing is turbo fan, which I'm gonna put in my cabin because it's gonna be really warm down there. A few connections for the electric engine and a new bus bar because, as you might remember, last year that one got badly corroded. Got some tools here. Neat little laser cutter. Just kidding. I'm gonna put my registration number on a boat and the name of the boat itself. I've got a new anchor band here. Previous one got trashed in the locks, and also a couple of prescription meds for my med kit. So I'm bringing scopolamine patches, that's for motion sickness, an adrenaline injection for anaphylaxis, narcotic painkillers. I also got my vaccine certificates and some hydroxyzine. And I've got the saga of Harald. It's in Old Norse, but details about his exploits in the Mediterranean and also his ancestor Sigurd Salfara. So I'll be visiting some of the places where the old Viking kings went raiding and did their thing. So now I just gotta get it all stuffed down and I'll be catching a plane tomorrow at 1300. Here's the marina. Can't say I'm not nervous. Just hoping my boat's still there. Still there. Alright, let's test the electronics. Oh. There's no water. It's a little moist. Practically nothing. Well, that went way better than I could have hoped for. I was sleeping pretty on and off last night because the mosquitoes are back and forth and you can't really close off the cabin because it's 30 degrees. The boat's been doing really well and it paid off cleaning up everything before I left. So, except for all the stuff I brought with me, it's all looking pretty well in here. I'm dying of heat stroke here. Can't really get proper ventilation through there because I can't open the hatch fully because the mast is in the way. So I'm gonna jerry rig the fan here so I can get a nice flow of air. So here's where I connected the lantern for the mast, the motor lantern. So I'm just gonna jerry rig it. I'm gonna replace this whole panel anyway. Oh, it works? Oh, sweet though. The first thing I do is get myself a tourist starter pack from Decathlon to deal with the heat. I then proceed to clean the boat, unpack what needs to be mounted before departure, and stow everything else away. Turns out, bus bar here is badly corroded, just like it was last year. So I gotta redo this whole thing. But that's why I bought a new bus bar and everything else I need. Alright, so there's a double disconnect here. I've disconnected the main circuit breaker and I've also disconnected the cables physically. And it's all out. But what's pretty scary, that mark isn't rust. Looks like it's melted, nearly started burning. That's pretty concerning. So I'm just gonna take off the main circuit breaker as well. Have a look at it. It's all good. Little corrosion here, but nothing that needs replacing. So here's the new one, which I had the foresight to bring with me from Norway. And compared to the old one, well, you see that metal's even thinner, and the amp surge, due to the low voltage, because of the resistance, has bent the whole thing. It's rated for 300 amps, and it's never gone past 90. Oh man, I really gotta get a proper inspection and maintenance schedule. I paid extra for these cables because they're supposed to be marine quality. It looks like it's burnt here, and it's also really corroded, and this was 30 centimeters into the cable, so none of this was exposed. I've made new connections for all of these. Starting off as a Celtic settlement in the 1st century BC, Mâcon grew significantly during the Roman Empire. In the Middle Ages, it served as the administrative center of its county, and during the Renaissance, it became a crossroad during various conflicts. In the 1930s, the river saw use as an airfield for seaplanes, but this venture was short-lived. Today, Mâcon has some 34,000 inhabitants, and its economy is mostly based upon the local production of wine. So it's 9 in the morning. Thought I'd just show you guys a day in my life here. After getting dressed and putting on sunscreen, I take my bike to the local supermarket. I get myself a baguette and head for the local boating store to pick up some parts for the engine. I then prepare the afternoon's work before heading out on my bike to explore during the midday heat. Today's chore is resealing the starboard window and applying the name tape on the same side. I'll do the other side some other day. I then spend the rest of the day fixing the gas monster. Carb's all clean. After sunset, I order myself a fridge online and spend an hour editing the previous episode. So I've gotten various parts from different electronics stores. The thing is, I couldn't get a black cable for my negative, so I'm using a ground cable. So what I'm gonna do now is, these two have the same wire feeding them. So I'm gonna put a separate 6mm cable feeding the power outlet, since I'm gonna use a fridge from here on out. And I'm also gonna replace that panel. Here's my options for naming the various things. Thinking about calling the fan the aerator, but I guess I'll be blower, cabin lights, it's pretty accurate, and bait tank pump. We'll see what that is later on. Don't have lights, so I'll put the motor lantern here. So, the fridge just arrived, and the people at the harbor master's office were kind enough to take it in for me while I was out on my bike. So, let's just get to it. Just to give you guys a reference of the space, here's my smartphone. Standing up. To ensure proper operation of the compressor, please keep the refrigerator standing upright for 12 hours. Yeah, that sucks. I've been waiting for this for a long time. Cold drinks, maybe not the healthiest kind, but it makes such a huge difference not having food spoil in 6 hours. So I just picked up the bimini. So here it is. Kind of felt this was plastic first on, but it's actually aluminum. Or aluminium, as we say in the civilized world. It's not gonna outlast the storm at sea, but I'm mostly gonna use it for motoring and anchoring. The last point on my to-do list is replacing the shroud chain plate that I removed last year. The new one is slightly bigger and requires some work to fit. So there's a race here today, as you can see, so I can't leave until 5. Oh, just a little farewell letter to the folks of the marina. Guess the prices haven't been updated for, it's gotta be 20-30 years or something. Falls is pretty high, 175, 180. It's the heat, I think. But last year in the canals, I got in really bad shape because I would just sit at the tiller all day and it was dark when I tied up. So now in Mâcon, I've gotten into a really nice routine, running alternating days, riding my bike if my knees are protesting. May not be possible every day, but as long as I have the option to go for a morning run, I'm gonna keep doing it. So the engine's failing. It didn't last very long. I'm just gonna try to clean the spark plug now because I'm going downwind, so it's not a problem before I hit the turn further down. But I got plenty of steering speed. I mean, well, I'm doing 2 kilometers an hour. It should be fine. Just hoping there's no big boats coming. I was running again, but I bet a couple of the horses are dead in there. It's gonna be nice when I hit the road. It's gonna be like last year. No chance of beating the current. Coming up in the first lock this season. Man, to think that I did 350 locks last year. Granted, they weren't this big, but 350 of them. I stopped earlier, so it wasn't open, but a guy I spoke to said that I could just spend the night here. I understood some French and he spoke 10 German words, so I got the message across. Really grateful for that because now I'm exhausted. It's been a nice night here. There are some kids sailing. There was a guy here that actually spoke Norwegian. But not a problem is that thing that's supposed to be stuck in the bags, it doesn't fall in the water. But it fell into the fuel tank. So I'm gonna do a little fishing. actually worked. There's a couple of bad bugs in there. There we go. It's better than it was. Thank you! See you! Enjoy the fine weather! You know, that's the second time here in France I've met someone that speaks Norwegian. That guy lived in Halden some 20 years ago, and Halden is southeast in Norway at the Swedish border. And that was a surprise. He just came down and said, "Hey man, what's up?" in Norwegian. So, I mean, France continues to surprise me. So, engine failure again, middle of Lyon as I'm drifting towards the confluence. This just sucks. I should become a pit stop mechanic by now. So it's 1 minute 40 seconds when I was running. I missed my first stop point. It was so damn reliable until it just died. Engine's choking a bit again, so I just can't miss the marina here now. Instead I'm out on the Rhône, and without engine power I can't cross the Rhône to get to the lock. So I'll have to anchor in front of the hydroelectric plant. So here's the Rhône coming down from Switzerland. The almighty Rhône. I was expecting something far worse. The flow is significantly higher than on the Saône. But as you can see by the sticks and stuff floating past there, it's not too bad. So yet another beautiful day, 35, 38 degrees. Now, as most of this episode has been me tinkering with stuff, I thought it would be a fitting end to it as well. So since the engine is acting up, I'm actually considering just putting the electric on. So I just gotta inspect the battery and just get enough solar panels up. Let's give it a spin. Just remember from the construction video from the engine thingy, this is the main circuit breaker here. Ha! Familiar beep. So now I'm all set. I'm just gonna back up all the footage from Norway and until this very point in time, because I'd hate to lose it. Well, that's it for now.
In the next episode, I'll be cruising down the River Rhône. I'll push my electric engine to the max, meet an old friend, and visit the ancient city of Avignon before finally reaching the Mediterranean Sea.